Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We're here, we're live. I'm looking windswept and interesting. How are we all? Good evening, Ricky. Hello, Paul. Good evening, Yamail. Rugby Boy, hello. Philip G. Scarbrand, the Mini Creative. Dave Hall. Shane Hands. Ooh, will you be painting these? I will be. Eventually. I've got to open it first. Would you maybe look at doing some Marvel Zombies and Marvel United minis, please? Yeah, we can look at doing it. As I've said many moons ago that we wanted to get into doing some other games. And it is a thing that we are doing. We're starting with Shatterpoint. Because, well, you guys were very generous last week. And we have the box. Good evening, James. Good evening, Dave. Here it is. This thing is weighty. It is heavy, and it's thick. It's almost as big as my head, and for those of you who have met me, I have a massive head. I have a very large head. Here it is. I mean, this way it is definitely bigger than my head. But we're going to open it. We're going to experience this as a new customer for the first time. Because I haven't bought a set like this before. What I have done is bought a lot of Games Workshop stuff. So I roughly know how it goes when you open those, what it looks like inside there, and kind of what tools they have in the box to support people who it might be their first time ever using one of the products. I haven't done Atomic Mass games, and I haven't looked at this box. I know what the contents is, but I've never opened it. So we are going to open it tonight. Live. We're going to look at the minis. We're going to do some building, hopefully, if it is something that I can do, the tools at my disposal, because I don't know. It's like the opening crawl when you open that box. Does a large yellow bunch of yellow text just escape from the box. But yeah, it's huge, this box. It's very heavy. Hello, go for it, painting. Let me see if I can just zoom this out a little bit more. So we can get as much of it on this camera screen as possible. And make sure that nothing incriminating is on camera. Hello, Mr. the Warhipster, you beautiful human, you. It's Wednesday, it's Warhipster time, and my laptop's effed. I'm sorry, Captain Manrings. My computer did a similar thing to me yesterday. It went all funny and my keyboard stopped working, which is very hard to fix things when your keyboard's not working. But yeah, as always, please do leave a like on the stream. It would be very useful. Get more people in here to come and watch Shatterpoint content. And if you're feeling generous and you'd like to help get 300 members, I've put the goal back down because 300 feels more thing. If you'd like to do consider becoming a member. I should do the cutting live, shouldn't I? We should head over to this screen here. Yeah, so here it is. Star Wars Shatterpoint box. With the wrapper still on. Oh, it's a heavy boy. Here it is. The choice is yours in Shatterpoint. So we're just gonna start things off. I'm gonna use this little knife here. It's a technical term. Knifey, knife, knife. There we go. No returning it now. It was over 300 members last week, Cameron. But we've had a bunch of cancellations, which is absolutely fine. And it's been really quiet around here at Warhipster Towers. Oh, that was satisfying. We've had a quiet month. I've not been hitting the content at the same level as we were in June because of Leviathan. That is all about to change. There are potentially 20 or so videos on their way. Right, here we go. The box is open. I should read this, really, shouldn't I? Amid a time of turmoil, conflict engulfs planets from the core worlds to the outer rim. From this strife arises moments of great importance known as Shatterpoints, where the actions of a few can change the course of a single battle, or even affect the fate of entire civilizations. Whether launching clandestine missions deep within enemy territory, or dueling bitter rivals amid the backdrop of a larger planetary engagement, your choices matter. Here, between clashing lightsabers and blasts of laser fire, you will decide the fate of the galaxy in Star Wars Shatterpoint. Star Wars Shatterpoint is a skirmish miniatures game for 2 players. In Shatterpoint, players take control of iconic characters from the Star Wars galaxy and their allies, battling against each other to complete dynamic mission objectives. Just remember, the greatest commanders are those who learn to adapt and who use the Force to achieve victory. Will you lead the forces of light with Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano, or take a darker path with the deadly assassin Asajj Ventress and ruthless Lord Maul? Or perhaps forge a new destiny of your own telling? The choice is yours in Star Wars Shatterpoint. Oh! Ugh. Yeah, the 20 videos that I'm talking about are, and it might be more, the videos I'm talking about do not include Star Wars Shatterpoint. Are you ready? Oh, that's cool. It's a good box. It's a heavy box. Oh, is this a thing? It is a thing. A beautiful way to photograph and share your painted minis for Star Wars Shatterpoint and get featured on Atomic Mass Games' social media channels by using hashtag Shatterpaint. Okay. Games Workshop, I hope you're watching, because this is sick. So this is just so you can see there's a little fold there which you can use to put your backgrounds on. And then there's a how to take your photos. That's really cool. That is a really good idea. That is very, very nice. I'm into that. And there's an actual backdrop. Oh, and there's another one there. Hoth. That's a really nice addition there. Well done, Star Wars Shatterpoint. Point to you. 15 love. Tokens. Many tokens. We don't know what they do yet. And then the core rules positioned right at the front. How big are we talking here? We're talking 39 pages. There's an appendixes though. We're talking 37 pages of rules. Wait, is it all rules or is there some fluff at the beginning? No, it's all rules. Okay. And we also have the credits there, which is also a really nice touch. You can afford to do that when you're a slightly smaller company, though. sometimes when you're a bigger company, if you put people's names on it like that, they get, particularly like with game development and stuff like that, they just get blasted by people, and they don't deserve to be blasted. Right, here we go. Plastic bags can be dangerous. To avoid danger of suffocation, keep this bag away from babies and children. Oh, that leaves me out. I am a baby and I'm a child. Oh. Okay, what is that? Is that all just terrain? Yeah. It's a lot of terrain, though. I like that it comes bagged. We have another shelf. And then we have miniatures. And more terrain. And then in here, we have our dice. I'm presuming our data cards, counters, and I guess point tracker. That makes sense. Lovely. Okay, so it's a struggle tracker. Okay, so here's my first criticism. At the moment, where are the instructions? See, now this is my problem. When you don't put the instructions in there, and I think I know where they are. I think they're on the internet. But here is the issue. You buy this, and if you don't know this, you have to Google it, and you shouldn't have to Google it. It should say right there on the front, or in here somewhere. It should say, to assemble your miniatures, head online. You can't just assume that people know that. Because I'm a dum-dum, and I would just be like, well, I guess I'll just figure it out then. Do you have a cat to test the box's boxiness? I don't. I am the cat in this household. Okay. So I have to now go to the internet. Shatterpoint core box. Build instructions. And this assumes that you have the internet. Do you know what I mean? Core assembly guides. Yeah, so now, if you're gonna go to the trouble of printing all of that stuff, you need to put a note on there saying you download the instructions. So I'm guessing we're in this box, this bag. Because these are the only two that I can see. Are there bases? Do I have bases? Is that a thing? I must do, right? I'm guessing these are the bases here. Is everything on the same size base? The instructions don't tell me. Yeah, here are our bases. Yeah, we got some bases. I found the bases. Are these all the same size? Nope. These are. And these are not the same size. So why are these bigger? Are you going to tell me what goes on what base? Or do I just have to figure that out? Battle droids. Battle droids go on these. I mean, the sprue's not labelled, so it doesn't tell me. So everything else goes on these 4, 8, 12, 16, and there's Anakin, Rex, Clone Troopers 1, 2, 3. So what's that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look then at these sprues, shall we? This is what we do around here. Just going to check that the stream is... Yeah, everything seems to be in order. So what are these? Are these the baddies or the goodies? Is it divided along those lines? No, it's not divided along those lines. Okay, well, so one thing I like on these sprues is every component, as far as I can tell, is labelled with its appropriate letter. So, for example, I don't know how well you can see this, yeah. So, for example, H, C, L. So it should correspond with the instructions, which... Games Workshop, they label their sprues in the beginning of instruction manuals, so you'll have sprue A, sprue B, and sprue C, but it won't necessarily say it on the actual sprue itself. So component B8, for example, is the number 8 component on sprue B, but the sprue itself doesn't say what B is. You have to look in the instruction manual to know which one sprue B is, whereas these are, it's literally the product code. So that's good. I like that. The components all look pretty nice. There's a bit of mold lineage going on it. I can't speak to the quality of the plastic. The sprue feels quite flexible. I don't know about the components, but we'll find out. Shall we build one then? Good evening, Laura. Good evening, Kurt. Sadly, no, this is not a Blood Angels. I'm not under duress, I hope. But you know, you guys gave me the money, and you were like, "Hey, do Shatterpoint." So I'm like, "Cool, we'll do Shatterpoint then." Right, we're down here. Down here. First ever component being clipped off now. A01 and A02. I don't like the instructions being on a computer. For me, that's not a great experience. Because if I don't have a computer screen as I do for this setup, I have to do it on my phone. And I don't like looking at instruction manuals on phones. I just think if you're going to print so much stuff, is it really that much of a hassle to print off an instruction manual? It's not like... And I know Games Workshop gets it wrong on some of theirs. But it's not like it's a changing document, you know? Like, why would you put a printout of the core rules in the box and not the instructions on how to build the models that are within said core box? Like, why would you do it that way? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just a slightly bizarre design choice, guys. And it's fine for that to be the case. But the assumption on the part of the company that I know that those are... Like... This is where it gets... This is where you get into... this is where you get into the conversation around why Games Workshop makes products the way they do and this, that, and the other. Games Workshop's products are designed that you can... You go into the shop. Yeah, that's clear. So Games Workshop designs their products to be consumed within store. So you go into one of their stores and it should be a case of that when you go in as a new time person, you could pick up any kit and it could be your first model. And fundamentally everything in there will contain the same things. Which you could argue that having digital instructions is a good thing, but at the same time I'm coming at this box game from I'm new to this. Just because I know wargaming, I know how to paint. I don't need to worry about that. I know how to build miniatures. But like, I'm coming at this as I'm a completely new consumer for this game. So my experience is I'm looking at this of, even if I know the answer, is that something that should be in there? So there's some really cool stuff in that box. And I mean, that's the thing, right? So you're gonna go to the length of printing some cardboard photographs, backgrounds, but you won't print paper instructions on how to build your miniatures. So it basically positions the product at an experienced hobbyist which is fine. It's just that if I was to do a full review of this box, I would say this box is not for beginners. Do you know what I mean? I didn't get that diorama No Soul Reaper. I would like to buy it, but I have no money right now. No, that's true, Colonel. But there is a lot of stuff in there that could also be in there to save some trees. Like, the experience of opening that box is fantastic. And so all of that cardboard packaging with all of the stuff in it and the way it's laid out, that's a really nice experience of opening that box. That's really good. I just didn't see, and you know, we're kind of doing this in a bit of a rush, but I haven't seen any notes on there that say the instructions are online. Like I said, this is how I approach these things, right? Like I said, as an experienced hobbyist, this is great. As a new starter, that would be a point of contention for me. I would also suggest that including a focus on social media at the beginning encourages maybe a little bit of pressure that you weren't expecting. It sets the tone for the box of, hey, you guys should be on Instagram, which not everyone is. But that's, you know, you can't really knock them for that. You can't say that's a criticism. I would say that is unnecessary pressure, perhaps, on a new starter, but on a seasoned vet, or indeed on a content creator like myself, that's like, oh cool, this is a really nice addition for me. But I'm like at the very, very far end of the hobby funnel. You know, like I said, very experienced hobbyist over here. But you know, this is what you guys pay me for. These insights. Have I already cleaned this one? No. So far, on this model, the mold lines are pretty good. There's no, like, really thick flash. There's a slightly weird one on that other leg, but, you know, again, every kit has that. Including the Games Workshop ones. Games Workshop ones are also subject to heavy print demand, so even if it's a brand new kit, you can sometimes get one with really hideous mold lines on it, because it's because they might have printed like 1 million of the bloody things, and you might get number 995,000. I also like that this is just Your bog standard plastic glue apparently works. That's what they say. You just need plastic glue to do this. There we go. You posted something in Discord that is included in their boxes. Ooh, let me have a look. Where have you posted it, Ryan? Yeah, so I don't have that. Yeah, so that's not in my box. It's a Citadel glue. It is Citadel glue. For those of you who want to now tell me that other glues are better, I know. But I like the Citadel one. Because I can always get it. A7, A3, and A6. Ugh. I saw a comment on the Witch King video that asked if I would do the Glorfindel and the Thranduil models. So I think what I want to do is I want to wait until I have a little bit of spare cash, and I will I'll pick up the diorama, Glorfindel, and Thranduil, and we'll have ourselves a proper week of Lord of the Rings videos. This plastic is very, very soft, so I just stroked that with my knife blade, and there was a nick in it. So that makes this bit of the part of cleaning quite easy, which is nice. But it does mean you have to be careful. It does make getting these mold lines off quite easy. I think I might swap to this mold line remover. Yeah, that feels less like I'm damaging it. A slightly blunter blade. Okay. So here's a question for the modelers out there, because I know that people like the kits to be some people like their model kits to be fully customizable. So does the monopose nature of these bother you, or does it not? Because I know that is a stick to beat Games Workshop with when they do things like the Orc Boys. Like, for me, it's great, right? Monopose, because I just have to literally follow the instructions and I don't care. I also like that there's a little bit of a lip on this head, so you can't drop it in so far that he ends up looking like he's trying to hide in his collar. That's a nice feature. There you go. So I'm guessing now I stick him on one of these bases. Colonel. If you go and look up Isengard Battle Host, I paint the Uruk-hai Scouts, Saruman, and Grima Wormtongue. All in one video. I've already got you covered, bro. And if you want, I can go and collect the link myself. He does go on a base, is that right? Because this doesn't tell me. Yes, he does. There we go. One down. We are 8 likes away, ladies and gentlemen, from 50. If you haven't already, please do leave a like on the stream. If you're enjoying the Shatterpoint, so it's now Commander Rex. How does it compare size-wise to a Marine? Do you want Primaris or normal? I guess we should do it compared to a character. Let's go with old Mr. Lazarus, shall we? So, in the Star Wars universe, Anakin Skywalker is taller than a Primaris Space Marine. Oh. Now here's the question, do we build... No, we build Rex with a helmet, right? Yeah, we'll give him a helmet. Rex. Commander. So we want 1 and 2. Lightsaber versus power sword. Let's go. Well. Now here's the question. Because as time has gone by in the Star Wars universe, lightsabers have become increasingly less effective as a weapon. It seems pretty much everything can repel a lightsaber. However, so if we assume that the power field of a power sword can repel a lightsaber, much the same way as like other kind of energy weapons can do in the Star Wars universe, does a power sword beat things like I'm trying to remember the name of the royal guard, you know, the droids that accompany Grievous with those purple disco sticks? I'm trying to remember the name. Do we assume... So I think... Well, so here's my point. Is Star Wars has a lot of kind of, like, blunt weapons that are used to combat lightsabers. They don't have power swords and things like that, which are also designed to cut. So, if we consider all of that, a power sword seems to come out on top. It appears to. At least. Because if it can a power sword cut through those weapons, basically, is the question I'm asking. Magna Guards, there you go. I'm not sure if it does have the welding lines. We'll find out. Captain Mannerings. Troopers and Mando should have helmets, in my opinion. Love your face, Mr. Warhipster. Thank you very much. Love your face, too. And, I agree. Ricky Colebrook. As an early Christmas present, you ordered the diorama to my address. That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you. I will get that painted up. Ricky, it's very, very kind of you. I'll have a look in my emails in a minute. I think I'll do Bo-Katan without the helmet. Maybe. I don't know. I did really enjoy Katie Sackhoff's portrayal of Bo-Katan. I didn't enjoy The Mandalorian Season 4 as much as I hoped I would. Season 4 or Season 3? It's tough to remember with Boba Fett having had half of his season given to Mando as well. You know who would be really fun to paint actually? Would be Sabine. Because her armour was all crazy coloured and had all that kind of lovely artwork on it. Or as it was once described to me, Star Wars Hot Topic. Which I was like, that's annoyingly accurate. The good news is the glue works perfectly fine. BO5 and BO6. Funds for the Primarch of the Best Legion. Hint, his sons are pretty and shout a lot and they love purple and gold and the number 3. Keep up the awesome work. Much love. Cameron. Do you want me to buy Fulgrim? I'm needing some brushes. Thank you very much for the 80, Cameron. That is very, very, very kind of you. I will... Let me look it up. Where is he? Old Fulgrim. That's... There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Well... I will pick him up then. For you, Cameron. I will do that for you. That means we'll have a week where we have Fulgrim and Mortarion. So I've got a Mortarion that I need to finish cleaning, actually. Courtesy of Peter, if he's here. Andrew. I'm needing some brushes. Beginner starting here was wondering what type you use or what are some cheapish you would recommend. People are saying Artis Opus. I think, sure. Brushes is as brushes does sometimes when it's right at the beginning. I personally, a lot of people will jump up and tell me I'm wrong, but I generally recommend, if you're a beginner, picking up either Games Workshop brushes or some Army Painter brushes, because at this point you don't know if you like it. So the ones I always recommend are medium layer and small layer brush from Games Workshop. Army Painter, I think it's the Regiment brush is the same size. Because you don't want to have to replace them or anything like that. But like picking up some just like cheapo brushes. Did you drop a 1 month anniversary message, Mr. Sorry, Colonel? Do Bo-Katan next. Glad to have joined this great community bombardment. I saw your do Bo-Katan, but congratulations and thank you very much for being a member for 1 month, Colonel. It's very kind of you. Yeah, no, I don't recommend the I don't recommend the white handle ones from Games Workshop because I've experienced them hooking at the end, and it's the synthetic brush, right? So that can happen. The black hand ones though, I've never experienced that with it hooking at the end. So, you know, that's the thing, is like I think everyone will always tell you something different, I think, when it comes to brushes. I always think, look, as a beginner, I would pick up a small layer brush and a medium layer brush from Games Workshop, because you can probably go and get them pretty easily. Or get the Army Painter ones if you have an independent that stocks a different line of brushes. A size probably 0, 1, 2, and I like 00 for doing like fine detail work. But like I said, everyone will have different opinions. Like a lot of people will tell me that Citadel brushes are bad, and they're not. They're just, you know, they're not the best brushes in the world. You can get better ones. You can't necessarily get better for cheaper. You can get cheaper for cheaper. You can get similar for cheaper. Okay, where's the stem here? Can't tell. B12 and B13. These two bits go together. So here's the question, is how well does this go together? Boopy doop boop. Oh, we've got a bit of bending there. And we've got a mold line over the top of the helmet. I always dislike that intensely. I can't tell if I've not clipped this properly. He is meant to be looking up a little bit, yeah. Okay. This is a lot of components for one model. You lured me in, Shatterpoint, with Anakin. You said, this is only going to be like 6. You know I don't like building, Shatterpoint. Actually, I suppose you don't know that. We've only just met. For dry brushes, you can buy makeup brushes that are round-headed, and you can get them from like TK Maxx, and you can get a bunch of them for like pence. I'm pretty certain that my eyesight is deteriorating. Rugby boy. At a rapid rate. To the point of where I will require magnifying glasses eventually, I reckon. I feel like I should find a brush manufacturer and negotiate some sort of Warhipster signature brush series. Because what? So here's the thing. Here's one of the things I want. Is I want long bristled medium layer brushes. And I want short bristled ones as well. For doing closer work. So if you think like essentially I want the belly to be closer to the point of delivery. So you want ones with tips, but you also want ones that have a short belly in order to deliver the paint quicker. I also really like the idea of a brush that has a ring on it. So kind of like a knuckle duster, but like you have a ring on it, kind of towards the, you know, wherever it is that you like to. So if like when I'm holding a brush like this, for example, so if I could get a ring on it around about here, it would put less strain on my fingers. So it just holds it kind of steady at the distance that you want for gliding the brush. Captain Rex is built. I also like the idea of a brush that has a little bit of a ball joint around the ferrule, and I'll explain why. So God, none of these characters would be good at skateboarding, huh? So like the idea being that if you had something along the lines of, let's say you have a cape that you need to get at. In fact, have I got a miniature? At my disposal? Oh yeah. So let's go with Corsair Khan. So you see in there, at the moment, one of the best ways of getting in and around a leg is to move your brush in, make contact with the model, and then push the brush up. So you get that thing. If you could have just a little bit of give in the brush, say you had like a little device here that lets you arc the brush up. Just like a little lever that would just make the brush go basically like that. That would be so useful. I have ideas for stupid painting products all the time. And I'm just like, I don't have the money. I noticed you started using an Artis Opus S for details instead of an M. Any particular reason? Yeah, just because the bristles are longer on the S. And I actually quite prefer it to be a little bit longer when doing detail work. Which isn't to say like all edge highlighting is easier when it's longer. It's just it's easier for me. It fits my hand-eye coordination better. Dragon's Den. I'm looking for £100,000 to sell brushes for very specific purposes and Warhipster dice. Should we do Ahsoka or shall we just do Clone Troopers? Ahsoka, Bo-Katan. You decide. I should have said, next super chat decides. Pay me. Yo, it's your boy, YouTuber Warhipster. Ahsoka, Bo. We've had 3 votes for Ahsoka. I mean, 2 were from John. We've done 2 characters. They're big boys. Anakin's taller. But everyone's doing the splits. Why is everyone doing the splits? Action pose. Finish a team. Rez is here. Hello, Rez. Are you still in Japan? Will there be paint on any of them tonight? Probably not, Cameron. It's already 20 to 10. I am eager to get paint on these, though. I have to go and prime them. You guys are saying do Ahsoka. Alright, we'll do Ahsoka. Where is she? That's Asajj Ventress. That's Bo-Katan. Exactly, Colonel. Bribe me. Bribe me. Ahsoka is there. Oh god, so many components. Oh. That nearly descended to the floor. There's every chance that it still might. Bo Custodies. Bombard. Well, he has decided. He has chosen Bo. We'll do Bo. Let me just do Ahsoka's body. Now that I've clipped it off. Boop, 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 doo. Okay, that's not going flush for some reason. Which must mean that there's something blocking it. I'm going to guess the peg. Yeah, it's a better fit. You would drop my entire to-do list for a Revan to paint. Darth Revan. We are on order 66 subscriber. Have we got any more? No. Like I said, guys, it's been really quiet on YouTube the last couple of days. Last week or so. Right. Captain Mannerings has paid for Bo-Katan, so we will now flip back to Bo-Katan and we shall return to Ahsoka. So E01. E02. Are you gonna... John! John's outbid you now, Cat. For more Ahsoka. It's a super chat war! Should have called this chat bells. Bo-Katan, get the fuck out of here. All right, Bo-Katan, you go back in the in progress pile. We're back to Ahsoka. D04. Where are we? Nope, that's this sprue. There we are. Ahsoka's Ahsoka's components keep making a bid for freedom for the floor. I learnt about Super Chat Wars today. I didn't know that was a thing. But it is, allegedly. DO5. I gotta say, as a building experience, this isn't bad. Oh, I need to definitely get these the right way around. Kane, how do you find the new GW tools? I made a video about this and I got torn apart. But I like them. I like how much precision I can get with the knife, because I can get right in like this because of the thumb guard. I like the mold line remover because it's plastic. It's got a little bit more grip to it than the old metal one does. I didn't like the metal ones. I like the clippers because, again, they feel nice in my hand. And I think the drill is terrible. Yeah, the connection points are in fairly decent places on this. There's been a couple of like having connection points on the lightsaber blades is really dumb. I don't like that as an experience, but I'm guessing it can't be avoided. And if it can be avoided, it's dumb and it should be changed. Because it just means cleaning them is an absolute nightmare. Wait, which way around does this go? Should have dry fit this. Okay, this one's proving annoying. I wonder if Ahsoka is doing the splits. Nope, she's doing the splits. Why is everyone doing the splits? Welcome to Star Wars Shatterpoint, where everybody is ready to do acrobat stuff. The splits are the best lightsaber form. That's as may well be, but why does that doesn't explain why Rex is doing it? I will laugh if Bo-Katan is doing the splits as well. God, boo. So look, doing the splits. Doing the splits. Doing the splits. Ah, we're just also ready for action. Yeah, but she might be doing the splits on a flying base. Good news, she's not doing it. She's not doing the splits, because that's who we're going to work on next. Right, are we going helmeted or are we going unhelmeted for Bo-Katan? What do you guys want? It's your call. Helmeted. Helmet. Helmet. This is the way. Alright. I look forward to the video. How would you paint the hair? But you all said to do the helmet! But Greyhound orange. Which way around does it go? That way around. They are cooler with their helmets. They are Mandalorians. That doesn't seem right. Does that look right? Yeah. I'm not magnetizing. It's too late anyway. I've added the glue. I've built quite a few miniatures in the last few days. You know what I should do is I should divide my day into... So I did a little exercise once, and I should do it again really, but like I should look at like what a perfect day is in terms of my resource allocation for me. And I should have an hour of a day spent building things. I should do that every day. But I don't do that. And I don't do it because I hate building. But also, I can't paint fast enough to keep up with that. So what I end up doing is I end up building lots of things at once. And then I always regret it. I wish I could have a similar rule, John. But I'm in one of those very fortunate positions where I get sent a lot of stuff. And it doesn't always work out that way. You end up having to build piles of miniatures at once. The good news is, though, is I probably won't have to... I probably won't have to build anything for at least a week. Oh, I've just reminded myself. I need to order some spray cans. Well done, me. I could get a husband to build stuff for me. Now, as I've said many times before, someday, when the channel is making enough money, I will hire somebody to do all the building for me. Or most of the building for me. But we are a long way from that day. I'd have to be able to pay myself a salary first. Sell printed manuals for Atomic Mass game stuff. £5. It's laminated and everything. I do want to go back to agile projects, but ones where I'm in charge. Do you know what it is? I have such a great career. I have such a great job that I would love to be able to support other people to do this. And to do that by, you know, hiring them so that they can live their dream of being able to make 40k video content, for example. So like if Warhipster as a channel was making enough money and there was a couple of people who wanted to, for example, start making, battle reports, for example, I would love to be able to hire them to make that dream come true for them. The trouble is I'm in a position where that would be a huge financial, because you could argue that, like, well, you should probably just hire someone anyway and just like presume that you're going to grow and make the money at the expense of perhaps yourself, which some businesses would do. However, I'm of the opinion that if I can't, like, if the channel doesn't grow to the point of where I can support myself comfortably without having to do as much work as I do, then it's unreasonable to give somebody the false hope that they have a secure job, because you want it to be secure, right? Because that's the most important thing, is that those people get a secure... That it's a case of, like, if, say, I hired somebody who thought that it was what they wanted to do, but it turned out they didn't, that they could leave. And that's okay. The issue with doing it the other way around is you're hiring someone on the belief that's the type of content that's going to support that hire. And if it doesn't, then it's a disaster. That's a pretty cool model. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, it'd definitely be a republic. A galactic republic. With me as the Chancellor. Bo-Katan. So we've done Rex. We've done Ahsoka Tano. We've done Bo-Katan. And we've done Anakin. So to finish these teams then, so there's 2 Mandalorians to build. Do the clone troopers go on their own individual bases? Do you know what I would really like Games Workshop to make? I would really like Games Workshop to make a flight stand upgrade kit. And make one for something like the Arcanaut Ironclad. Right, should I do the clone troopers? I feel like I should. Clones are on individual basis. Cool. One. Hey, guitar music headbang. Yeah, I used to always make sure that I swapped between mold line remover and knife, and I do still absolutely believe in the mold line remover. It's just I always forget that it's there. Um, the thing to watch out for with hobby knives is you actually need shorter blades. Because if you've got a longer blade, what you can end up doing if you end up sticking towards the tip of the blade to remove mold lines, you can end up like just like juddering along the edge, which then is a nightmare to try and fix because you just get this like dig 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 all the way along, so you get lots of little grooves. It's at that point where you then have to clean it with a mold line remover. For me, it's just a speed thing. So I'll use the mold line remover here. Which is great because you genuinely don't run into that issue at all. But so like but so this is the thing, right? So like if you are to like, for example, I'm trying to demonstrate it here. If you use the back of the blade and you stick towards the tip, you'll get this kind of thing going along the edge, whereas you don't get that at all with the mold line remover. So you notice how it digs in. It's not as smooth as action. For example. So if you're pressing really hard with the knife and you're on a bit, you can get it so it goes dit 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 dit, even using the back. So you have to you have to be really careful, and it does become kind of second nature to not do that. But it is a risk. Do you know what the best way, for those of you who've never used a mold line remover, the best way to get hold of one is, rather than buying the mold line remover outright, is if you look up the hobby paints and tools set that Games Workshop makes. If there is a bunch of paints that you need in there that are a replacement, buy that. Because you get a pair of clippers and you get a pocket mold line remover. So you're buying it for the paint, but you get a free mold line remover to try out. And it is fundamentally the exact same mold line remover. I've got one here, I think. Yeah, here. So you get this little doodad, which is very good at just getting those little tiny mold lines off. And then you can, you know, you'll be like, well, I didn't buy it for that. I bought it for the pot of Retributor armor, Mephiston Red, Lead Belcher, yay, we did a clone trooper! I'm not totally enamored with having to clip out bases. I have to admit. But it is what it is. So you can tell this clone trooper is just a bog standard trooper, because whilst he is doing the splits, it's not an action split. It's just a regular, everyday, normal, non-splitter. Hello, William. Haven't caught a stream since the Battle of Ogram. Tyranids reveal. Good to see you're still going. I am. Eternally. Warhipstering never stops. It is a 24-hour-a-day job. Speaking of which, there is going to be a 24-hour stream, you guys. I have decided that it's going to happen. I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to paint my Warhound Titan that Peter is very kindly building for me. I'm going to paint a Warhound Titan in a day. Do you reckon, Peter, you can get it to me before the 26th of September? And the reason I tell you this, and the reason I ask this question, and don't worry if you can't, but the 26th of September is my birthday. And I have it in my head that it would be fun to do the Titan stream around that. So it'd be like, it's my birthday, guys, and I'm painting the best model, the biggest model that I've ever owned. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Katara. Also, hello, mate. I saw that you sent me your address. Thank you. I meant to respond to you earlier, but I had to run and watch the Lionesses win the semi-final against Australia. And I got all wrapped up in that. Because, and here's my thinking, guys. Like, contrast plus how to paint a Warhound Titan is going to help very few people. But, can I paint a Warhound Titan in 24 hours using contrast paint and a brush? That's a stream worth tuning in for, right? This goes on weird. Because then we celebrate my 34th birthday the year after with a Reaver Titan, no? And then, on my 35th birthday, we do a Warlord. And everything's great. Hey. Yes, Captain Mannerings, an Emperor Titan on my 40th. Oh, come on. Marvelous. Yes, I will check, Peter. I will ask her. She might have already gone to bed. She might still be watching. How many hours have you done today, Sir Warhipster? Today, I started working at 10:30. So it is 10 to 22. 11 now, so I took an hour off for dinner. I say I've probably done. I'd say I've probably done 9 hours already today. And I've got at least another 5 because I've got to film tomorrow's video after this. And then we do the same thing again tomorrow. I mean, typically when I'm really busy, I'm doing 16 to 18 hours work a day. Because gotta get them videos out. And just a cheeky one-man band over here. So I spent the first part of the day doing a little bit of admin, sent some emails, did some what's it called? Some YouTube comments, which I've vowed to get better at doing, because it's like the one thing in the day that it's like, if you just don't have time, it's like it's easy to just be like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, and then that just kind of turns into weeks at a time, and you just realize you haven't responded to anything, and it's really bad. So I'm trying to. I've set myself a goal of doing, just literally setting aside half an hour every day to just sit and go back to comments, regardless of where I am, rain or shine. We shall do it. Do it. And you know, it's that mindset that has got the channel where it is, and I hope it's one of the reasons why you like me. Tyler. Hello, sir. It is I, Tyler. Mr. the Troutman. Hope you're well, sir. Thank you very much for the 5. Just to let me know all is well. All is well. Good. Thank you very much for being a member for 2 months. I'm enjoying it. Is there a reason you don't include timestamps in tutorials anymore? It's supposed to do it automatically, and it does do it. It just does it like 2 or 3 weeks after the fact. If it's something that you would like me to just put in manually into the description, we can do that. that is a thing that is possible. It just slows down. Like, again, it just slows down the production a little bit. But it's one of those things where I can just create a crib sheet as we're going along, I guess. And then just upload that directly into YouTube. But yeah, it's supposed to put the chapters in automatically. Sometimes it does it right away, and sometimes it doesn't. Would you be interested in painting a Warhammer Fantasy model? Absolutely, I am. The old world is coming. Do you know what I picture as the perfect experience for consuming content? And it's something that I flat don't have the time to do myself, because otherwise, you know, nothing would get done. But in my mind, that you have two routes to, like, if I could set up a Warhipster Academy type thing, the idea would be that, like, you can consume a video just on its own all the way through and watch it to learn how to paint a model. Or alternatively, you could use a PDF or kind of web page or whatever that would key you into specific areas of said model, as well as a description on how it's done, so you can read how it's done and look at the pictures and then follow along those specific bits, as well as create keyworded techniques, right? So if you say we're going to dry brush, that then links you to another video demonstration or an explanation of dry brushing in all of its forms. So it becomes this, like, sort of, for me, it's like a triple layered, interlaced interface that you can experience both technique, model itself, recipe as well. So it's a way to consume the... So, for example, right, if we do something like how to paint Lord Croak, that video can be broken down into how to paint blended green stone, how to paint a black stone palanquin, how to paint dusty bandages, for example. It can be broken down like that. But so that the video can directly take you to the bits that you need to go to, which YouTube doesn't have the capacity to do. I would have to do it by cutting up the videos themselves into shorts and then uploading them separately and then linking them around and this, that, and the other, which is something that I can do, but it's still not... I don't have a website yet where I can create the framework that I picture in my mind. There's no chapters on the Leviathan vids. Ugh. That's annoying. Oh, we got 75 likes on the stream. That's amazing. Thank you very much, guys. So that's the like, because the way I paint the miniature is how you paint that specific miniature, but that specific miniature can be broken down into specific recipes for specific things. So, like, if you take something like a custodian warden, you've got red cloth, you've got sentinel blade, you've got hard black details, and you've got gold armor, for example. So there's 4 separate recipes there. The video itself, when you watch the whole video, should give you a walkthrough step by step on how to actually paint that miniature in the order that as best makes sense to me, in terms of teaching you how I would do that. Whereas if you wanted to know just how to do the red, if you paint the miniature just in those examples with contrast plus, it doesn't really work, because you might make mistakes, and then you might make an irreversible mistake, which to me is not a great experience, particularly in terms of the flow of the video, because it's just like, we're going to do the gold, now we're going to do the red, start to finish, and then we're going to do the thing. So, and then you throw in the fact that I try and film the videos in such a way where you get to Warhipster Battle Ready where you stop, if that's where you want to stop, and then you can take it to the next level if you want to. So there is a halfway point. It is a... I have a grand vision for what Warhipster Studios could look like when there's 150 employees. There's a YouTuber called Morgan Donna that did a choose your own adventure with videos on her channel. She does sewing and it was really good. Oh, that sounds sick. I love that. I was going to ask if you guys would like to see Friday gaming streams, specifically Baldur's Gate. And what I might do, members on the Discord, if you are playing Baldur's Gate or you want to play with me, I might try and get a party together to tackle Baldur's Gate 3 together. I think that would be fun. So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have built Bo-Katan Kryze. We have built 2 clone troopers. We have built Rex. We have built Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker. And it's been fun. I have enjoyed it. It's been pretty good. I would probably do it on here, Captain Mannerings. YouTube is trying to encourage people to stop making multiple channels and just do it all in one place. Which makes sense, right? Because server space costs money. But I genuinely like. I've been also thinking about doing like just doing a Baldur's Gate 3 video, because I have many thoughts about the game and how it's changed. It's changed my expectations of gaming. As much as game developers don't want it to, it has. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean like my standards for accepting things from other games have been significantly heightened, and I'm also going to include Games Workshop stuff in that, because Baldur's Gate 3 as a game is an example of how to just really inspire something within a person. It was a fantastic experience, and I loved every minute of it. Even when I was getting flattened by bosses I didn't expect to have to fight, or even when I failed ability checks that should have been easy. Like, one of the very first things I had to do was roll a 5 on something. Just nat 1. And it was like, you have another chance, make another wisdom check. And I was like, cool, nat 1 again. I was like, no, come on. And I was like, this is just classic D&D right here. And it was, yeah, I absolutely love that game. So I might see if we can. I might try and get a Friday stream of the video games and see if we can and hope that we don't kill the channel's growth by ruining the algorithm, because it can do. But yeah, no, I was thinking about just doing a video that was just like, hey man, like, I think every company can learn something from Baldur's Gate 3, just because of the passion that was clearly put into that project, and the love for it. And no, Baldur's Gate 3 did not come with an instruction manual. It had tutorials on the screen. That's what you get for a digital download. Well, I think as it's 5 to 11, we should probably wrap things up, unless anybody wishes to become a new member or gift some memberships in the next 4 minutes. Oh, we've lost 5 subscribers as well. That's fun. It's because I mentioned Baldur's Gate. And everyone's mad at me because I'm doing Star Wars now. We all hate Games Workshop, but don't do anything else. Yeah, it is gifts expiring. That's fine, Cameron. I shall wait until YouTube pays me, and then I will. I shall purchase. I shall purchase Fulgrim. Scarbrand dropping a fat 20 gifted members right at the death. You hero. Oh, good lord. Thank you so much, Scarbrand. You're a very generous person. And Kurt, thank you very much for being a member for 6 months. You're a long-term fan. And I appreciate every single minute. There's our 20 gifted members straight off the way. 276. There we go. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. More blood for the blood god. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for reminding me I need to get a pot of blood for the blood god. Actually, let me just, whilst I'm here, I'm going to, I'm just going to pull up my, because I need to do some shopping, because I need to get some spray cans. And there is, I need to get some blood for the blood god. Thank you very much for reminding me. Do. Yes, always remember to use, for any and all of your purchasing of Warhipster product, Warhammer and hobby product, always make sure to remember to use the affiliate link in the description below. I ought to pin it in Patreon as well. Patreon? That's Discord as well. But it was one of those things, like, so like when you get to something like what's it called, Leviathan, and I saw a lot of people like dropping their affiliate links, and I was like, yeah, there is a time for that, but like right now people just want to get their Leviathan box. As well they should. It was Griff Charger Grey I desperately needed. Do I need more Leviathan purple? Do you know what? One of the greatest expenses on the channel is paint. I buy a lot of paint. I don't need any more Leviathan purple. I do need more silver. It depends. Contrast paints last a long time. Base and layer paints not so much, because the ones I use are ones I use a lot. So like Retributor armor will last me about a month to 6, depending on what I'm painting, right? So like if I'm doing like a Custodes army, then I'll get through a pot of Retributor armor like there's no tomorrow, but I definitely need the silver for an upcoming thing. Do I have a spare Iron Warriors? No. I'm going to get another Iron Warriors. I do tend to like over order paint as well, because like it's just like it's just one of those things. I need some of that as well. What about Griffhound Orange? How are you doing? Yeah, Griffhound Orange is fine. So, like, on that, like, how long does a paint last? This pot of Griff Charger Grey is the same pot that I've had since the beginning. Yes. So I got this pot when it first came out. I haven't had to change it. Black Legion, we should be all fine. Carberg Crimson, how are you doing? Where are you? Ah, no, we're all good. Black Legion, I've got a spare pot of that, yeah. Red, we're all good. There we go. Rather than put my address on the screen again. There you go. £76. I had to get some brushes for Alice as well. That's what I mean. It's like the biggest expense is paint. I think we're all good for Black Templar as well. Targal Raid Shade, we should have a spare. Yeah. Oh yeah. Eand and yellow. There we go. I've got the rattle cans. I've got the rattle cans in there. There we go. Yeah, I've got them. Don't you worry. Buy now with PayPal. Yep. There we go. Job done. Another one off of my 15 things to do list. And there we go. We're going to conclude things there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much to... I'm going to go through if it's going to load. Why won't you load? Well, thank you very much, Tyler, for the 5. Scarbrand for the 20. Gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Cameron, for the 80. £80 dono. We've had a couple of other 5s, but it's not loading. Just going to refresh the page. There we go. John, thank you for the 5. Captain Mannerings, thank you very much for the 2. And the 5. Thank you, all of you. You guys are amazing. I love you. And I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Hi, Abdul. I'm sorry, I'm on the way out. We've gone a little bit longer than we normally do. But we built some Shatterpoint, which is exciting. I'll take some pictures of it. But I will see you all very soon in the next one. There'll be a video tomorrow, I hope. If I'm a good boy. And I will catch you all very, very soon. Love you very much. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.